Currently, 85 million families own a pet. And while pet ownership is a fun experience, it also entails a huge responsibility of maintaining the well-being of your pet. Here to share more are Animal Regulation Supervisor and Animal Cruelty Investigator Christian Meiser and Public Information Officer Kim Vanden Berg. Thanks so much taking time out of your being on the street or wherever you are and being in the studio with us.
And thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So, most pressing, it's this time of year. You guys are here to promote pet responsible ownership. Mm-hmm. It's winter. We forget about things we need to do with pets in the winter time. We kind of take them outside and forget about it. What can people do to be more responsible during winter season with our furry friends?
I'll take them.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, just say one of the biggest things is making sure that your pet has adequate provisions to, if they're staying outside, to be outside. And Christian, I think you can talk more about what type of adequate provisions we have.
Sure. So in our state law and city ordinance, it defines adequate provisions for the animal. So different animals need different provisions. Dog houses, access to fresh water, not frozen bowls of water, access to a food source. And some of these things, people forget, or they go to work and their dog's outside and the water bowl freezes and it becomes a health issue for the animal. And then, that's when we get a call and show up and try to figure out what we can do to help.
So if there are any new ordinances people need to be aware of?
There are some stuff that's in the works that hasn't been passed yet with some temperature ranges, but we do have a very strong ordinance on animal cruelty, animal neglect, and how to adequately take care of your animal.
And what about things like there is leash laws, correct?
Yes.
And there is a few others on the books. Can you expand on those just so our viewers know?
Sure. So our leash law is if your dog is off your property, it has to be restrained by a leash or on your property. It can't leave your property. So if you have to tether your animal correctly within the confines of the ordinance, whatever you need to do to keep your animal contained for public safety, that's what our ordinance says.
And is there a lot of, you guys get called on a lot of different style of investigations.
Sure.
Kind of what do you see the most when you go in there? Is it a careless owner or is it just someone being flat out cruel?
A lot of the time it's the owner not being educated, not knowing that what they're doing is causing harm to the animal. And that's really what our big focus is education, providing resources, passing on information to these folks that can make their lives better and the animals.
So you're the public information officer. Yes. So education, I guess, is a big portion of the job? It
is, and luckily, our animal control officers, like Christian here, are very well educated themselves on how to communicate with those pet owners in terms of letting them know when they've had an incident where we've responded to them, what steps they can take to remedy the situation, where it might be simply as if they don't have food, how we can help them get connected with local resources to obtain obtain some food, at least in the interim, or if it's vaccinations, because we do have an ordinance that requires all domesticated animals in the city, cats and dogs, to be vaccinated for rabies. We can help connect them to low-cost vaccinating clinics and be able to establish that vaccination record, and then that helps protect that animal for a year from rabies in the event that they were to get off their property and get into an altercation with another pet.
Excellent information. We're going to talk more about this. We got to take a quick break though. So, hey, stay with us at STL Live. We're going to learn more about responsible pet ownership right after this break.